The 22nd of August 2023 is Inazuma 11's 15th anniversary. And I thought to celebrate this, we could take a look at the past 15 years of content and go series to series. So the original Trilogy, Go, and Aries, because I haven't seen Orion yet. And for each one, over the next 3 days, I'm going to look at 5 things I love about it, and 5 things that I hate about it. This idea was inspired by Jay Witz's 5 things I love and hate about Kingdom Hearts, and I thought I could do something similar about Inazuma 11, to both talk about some fun aspects of the franchise, but also talk about some of the more frustrating ones. It's 15 years old now, it can take it, it's a big boy. So without further ado, let's just dive straight in, and of course make sure you leave down in the comments what you love and hate about the original trilogy. And I guess if you really disagree with me, put down there that I'm a stinky cry baby. And of course like and subscribe, but without further ado, let's just dive straight in. So when I think about things that I love about the original trilogy, the first thing that comes to mind is the scouting system, particularly in Inazuma 11 2. This is kind of a random thing to start off this series with, but I just really love how instantaneous it is and how it makes scouting one of my favorite aspects of the entire franchise, the easiest it's ever been. But it's not Striker's level of easy, where it kind of takes away the fun of it. No, instead what you do, you just go up to Hillman and say, hey, I want this player, or I want to look at players from this team or this area. Hillman goes, hey, what about these choices? You go, okay, sick, I like the look of this guy. Give me Chicken from Wild. And then you click Chicken, you pay up the toll, like the troll toll on the troll bridge or whatever. And then Hillman, who I guess is the troll in this analogy, goes, all right, Chicken is in this location. You go to that location, Chicken battles you. Maybe there's another requirement on top of that, and then boom, Chicken's on your team. Everything about it is completely effective, and I love it. But on the contrary, I hate Inazuma 11 3 scouting system. Now, longtime viewers of this channel will know that I'm not particularly keen on Inazuma 11 3 as a whole, and I find it to be quite overrated, but one aspect that really grinds my gears is the scouting system. I have 2 really big peeves with it. The first is the gacha type system with the, I don't know what the word, the capsule machines. That's the word for it, the capsule machines, where it's like random scouts. I'm not keen on that. And then you've also got this really fun thing called, and I guess it makes sense when you think about it, but I don't want to think about it. I just want cool players on my team for the story mode, and of course I'm talking about the fact that you can't scout international players onto your team until after you've beaten the story. I want to use Edgar Partners for the after game of Inazuma 11 3, but I just can't, and it really irritates me. Yes, it makes logical sense, but come on, give me some fun. This is Inazuma 11. This is a game where people kick balls followed by dragons. I'm sure I can print Edgar Partners a Japanese passport if he needs one that badly. And speaking about Edgar Partners, one thing I love about the original trilogy is all the characters in it. Yes, this spot is basically exclusively for Todd and Steve, the dynamic duo who, I mean, come on. But overall, I love all of the characters, specifically the ones in Raimon. I just find them all to be really fun underdogs. I mean, come on, Jim exists. But outside of them, I love all the characters on the opposing teams. I love teams like Wild, Brainwashing. Then, of course, Inazuma 11 2 and 3 have a ton of really fun, exciting, interesting characters. And the original trilogy contains my 3 favorite characters of all time, Percival Travis, Nelly Raimon, and of course Archer Hawkins. So it's win. But not every character is a win, because one thing I hate about the original trilogy is specifically in Inazuma 11 1, I hate the scouts. I just think they're all so boring. I get that it's the first game, so they're not going to go super quirky with the scouts. But what it results in is team building in Inazuma 11 1 feels the most boring it's ever felt. Bloody hell, choosing a goalkeeper who isn't Mark in this game is a bloody struggle, because none of the designs are particularly interesting. They really improved this in future games, but god, 1 just features some weak scout designs, and it's the norm, which is really disappointing. Another thing I love about Inazuma 11, and I can't think of a creative segue for this one, is the dub names. I know a lot of people hate the dub names, and I know I literally just made a video about my least favorite ones, but for the most part, I think they're really creative and really fun. The original trilogy has a lot less puns than Go does, and so for the most part, I find a lot of these to be more universally liked, and so many of them have just stuck with me. There's a reason why I really struggle to recall the Japanese names for certain players, because for me, the dub names are the definitive ones. Axel Blaze, Mark Evans, Kevin Dragonfly, Sam Kincaid, Todd Ironside. I can reel off about 100 of these, and it's purely just down to how appealing the dub names are. They're fun, quirky, I love them. Do you know what I don't love, though? the Ogre movie. This is the only movie to spawn from the original trilogy, and it's such a cool idea, right? An Inazuma 11 movie, it's like an alternate universe thing. Ooh, I like this idea. So why is 40 minutes of it just a recap of the original series? Look, this is an anime series movie, and I get these aren't generally very good, so it's fine that the Ogre movie maybe isn't fantastic, but what really irritates me is they're trying to essentially market this to people who haven't seen Inazuma 11 before. Like if I was to sit my mum down and go, ooh, mum, it's movie night, you know what I'm gonna stick on the TV? The Inazuma 11 Ogre movie. And my mum's gonna be like, what on earth are you talking about? I've never seen an episode of Inazuma 11. I'm gonna be like, oh, well, don't you worry, mum, it contains 40 minutes of flashbacks. 40 minutes of recapping to get you up to speed so that you can watch a 40-minute long final match between Ogre and Raimon, which to be fair is really well animated. But then why the hell is it marketed? Well, you know what I mean, marketed because of the 40-minute recap to brand new viewers. So if I'm sitting my mum down again, remember, so this is the analogy we're working with. When like Video, Archer Hawkins, and Cannon Evans and all that show up, right, when they just show up randomly, how the hell is my mum supposed to know who they are? You think my mum's gonna see Archer Hawkins come on and go, oh yes, it's Archer Hawkins, the player who plays for Inazuma Japan in Season 3. Yes, I understand this reference. No, my mum's gonna be like, well, what the hell? They weren't in the flashbacks. What is this? Why am I supposed to care about them? I just got really heated about the Ogre movie. Bloody hell. One thing I don't get heated about, though, is the Hizatsus in Inazuma 11. And even some from the Ogre movie I think are absolutely fantastic. Prime Legend is one of my favorites of all time. Same with Maximum Fire. The original trilogy just contains so many bangers. And a fun story for y'all, the way I got into Inazuma 11 is a kid who wasn't that into football at the time. So I was sat down, right, watching Disney XD with my sister, and this advert comes on for a football anime, and I'm like, who cares? And this is football. This is boring. Give me some Pokemon. And then a dragon shows up, right? A bloody dragon shows up. Mark Evans starts firing yellow hands out of his normal hand, and I lose my mind. So it was the Hizatsus that got me into Inazuma 11, and it's the Hizatsus that have really fueled my love of the series. One thing that continues to piss me off about the series, though, is the fact that the original trilogy thought it would be a fun idea to give us two versions of games. You start with Inazuma 11 1, that makes sense. Then 2, for some reason, we've got bloody Firestorm and Blizzard, and oh, I hate the fact that I'm a sucker for this and I will buy both versions. I have Lightning Bolt, I have Ogre Attacks, I have Shadow, I have Light, I have bloody Thunder Flash, I have bloody Wildfire. I hate the fact that Inazuma 11 keeps making me buy different versions of games for mildly different post-games. And I really dislike the fact that the original trilogy set me down this path. I'm now really into game collecting, and I just know that means I'm going to go back and eventually buy all the different versions that I don't have. I'm going to end up with both Supernova and Big Bang, and let's just say that my girlfriend might not like that financial decision very much. And this is what spawned it. This is my mortal enemy. With that being said, though, I do really like the road trip element of these games. And yes, I specifically mean 2. I'm not just holding these up randomly. I absolutely adore how much this has taught me about Japan as a country and the geography of it. I love the fact, I absolutely adore how much this has taught me about the geography of Japan. I love the context it gives to one and all the lore it provides on the different teams. I love exploring each location, and I'm an absolute sucker for any video game that splits itself into chapters. So when Inazuma 11 gives you one new location per chapter, ooh, I just never wanted it to end. I remember playing these games for the first time as a kid, not having any idea what was coming next, and every new chapter and every new location was both a learning moment for me and also just a time to be really excited about whatever new player awaited me. Inazuma 11 2 is one of my favorite video games of all time, and the road trip element plays a massive, massive part into that. But now, let us end on a negative note, because I really hate the Garfield plot in Inazuma 11 3. And yes, I know it's Garshield or Zulan Rice or whatever, but Garfield, why not? I just find it funnier. I love the idea of Chris Pratt voicing him. Yeah, but after 1 had Ray Dark, 2 had the orphanage guy, for 3 to just kind of have this criminal overlord who, ooh, was the main villain all along. I just don't care. It's the fact that his time in the spotlight in the plot kind of just feels like snap of your fingers and it's done. Like he's basically only there for the Brazil match, which for the guy who's kind of meant to be the big antagonist of the first 3 games, even though I know he's not really, I mean, it's Ray Dark, but they kind of try and pretend this guy is. It's just weak. He leaves no no lasting impression, and I just don't care about anything he does. He's the weakest part of one of my least favorite Inazuma 11 games, so yeah, obviously he has to be on this list. But those are 5 things I love and 5 things I hate about Inazuma 11, the original trilogy. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that classic YouTube stuff, and let me know down below, please, how much you agree and disagree with my takes. Maybe you love spending double the amount of money on a game just so you can have both Firestorm and Blizzard. I mean, that would be an interesting opinion to have. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.